What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another beautiful day. This is your boy Kavon, and welcome to the podcast of Kavon and the Gang. All right, we're gonna jump right on in it. Dallas Cowboys lose on, I want to say, another hard watch. 48-32 against the Green Bay Packers. I don't know what it is about them. It's like every time they have a decent season, they get into the playoffs and they lose. Green Bay Packers 40-32. Last year, they lose in the divisional round to the 49ers. And the year before last, they lose to the 49ers again. So I don't understand, what could it be? Is it the coaching? Is it the players? I feel like as a coach, you can only do so much. You can only do so much. The play call and the adjustment, I feel like it's the player's job to be on that field. If you see something, you make the call. If you see something, you can make the call. It's simple. Dak Prescott finished the game 41 for 60 with 403 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Garbage time. I mean, it's like I said, I can't even just blame Dak, because I want to say CeeDee Lamb was missing wide open passes. His body language was just hitting one of those. Like every time something wasn't going wrong, he's getting locked up. I mean, he was one of the top 3, not damn near top 2 receivers in the league in the regular season with over 1,700 receiving yards. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna tell y'all what changed the game. That first interception, which was questionable call, should have been a defensive passive interference in my opinion on Jair Alexander, but ref didn't call it, letting the play through it. And then that critical pick 6, that's what changed the game. They had that momentum going into the first quarter still, with it being 14-0. But not only that, the major problem what I see with the Dallas Cowboys is the defense. It's always been the defense for the last 4 or 5 years, roughly. It's always been that rushing. Aaron Jones finished the game. Let me read you this. 21 carries, 118 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns. Granted, some of these plays where they turned the ball over, had to punt, and then they just had that good field position. But there's no way in hell y'all should be letting a grown man run all over y'all. And I just don't know. And oh my gosh, Stephon Gilmore and the whole secondary. Romeo Doubs, 6 receptions, 151 yards, and 1 touchdown. Defense was shitty. Excuse my language. They was terrible. And in my opinion, the only way you can fix this, you got to change the culture. You got to change the landscape. It was a lot of success in the early 90s with Jimmy Johnson. But that was when Jerry Jones was, he took a seat back. Yeah, we know it's your team, you billion-dollar organization, but it's time for you, Jerry Jones, to take a step back. Because as a Dallas fan, I'm tired of seeing y'all lose. I've been watching y'all since the early, 2000. We had Drew Bledsoe as quarterback, and then we transitioned over to Tony Romo. I don't know how y'all remember, but about 07, 08, when they went out and played the Seattle Seahawks? Tony Romo fumbled the ball. 2014, we lose again. I think that was the best team, one of the best team Dallas had with Tony Romo. Lose again. Then they lose again to Aaron Rodgers. And now they lose again to San Francisco. Then they lose again to San Francisco in the division round. Now they lose to the Green Bay Packers, who was the 7th seed. It's really frustrating to watch your team. I mean, granted, we all know only one team can make it. But, god damn, Dallas. Damn. Can y'all at least, get some fight? Make it to the NFC Championship game. I would have been happy with that. But, like I said, it's not just on Dak. Adjustments have to be made. I figured best way is Mike McCarthy. Yes, he's had a successful, I wouldn't even say successful. It's been kind of mediocre. It's been empty calories as well in the regular season, because you can get over the hump, but you can't get over that hump in the playoffs. I don't know. The playoffs is kryptonite for some reason with the Dallas Cowboys. But yeah, man, it's kind of mind-boggling to me to watch it each and every time. As fans, we get that excitement, and it's like they have a diagram of Dallas Cowboys look, off season, this our year. We start winning games. Oh, Super Bowl time. And then we get into the playoffs and they take a plummet. They fall straight to the ground. Like Stephen A. said, what can go wrong in Dallas will go wrong, and you just have to wait on it. That momentum switch with those interceptions, I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, you look at teams like the Houston Texans. Okay, they were what, 3-13 last year, 3-14. Major change was got a new coach and they got a rookie quarterback. Simple enough. And you put your pieces around this rookie quarterback. You then gave him plenty of pieces on the defensive side of the ball as well. You build that offensive lineup and you give him some legitimate receivers. Somebody that could, get open. My thing is with the Dallas Cowboys, they lost Ezekiel Elliott last year. He went to the Patriots. And now you don't have a running game. Tony Pollard is not your bell cow at all. Tony Pollard was that change of pace back last season. And now you signed Michael Gallup to a long-term contract. Horrible. Empty cow. I mean, Michael Gallup, he showed a couple of, I want to say, plays where he snagged the ball out there, but hasn't been the same since the injury. You brought a veteran, Brandon Cooks, in. Brandon Cooks, I figure he's going to be the change of pace receiver, but I figure Dallas, only way they can get back to at least having a okay season, Mike McCarthy got to go. Granted, he has back-to-back 12 season wins, but it needs to be a culture change, and that's simple. It needs to be some type of fear as far as the players wanting to be like, not even fear. It needs to be some type of discipline where it's like, if I make this play, I'm going to get chewed out on the sideline. So that's all it is. It's your teacher. Your teacher needs to change. As well as I feel like Dak Prescott, I figured Dallas shouldn't sign him long term because now you're getting the same old, as they say, the same old Dak. Interception wasn't a big problem this year, but it's like when the bright lights are on, Dak folds. That's the thing. He folds. And it's kind of hard to watch it because every season as a Dallas Cowboy fan, we've seen it each and every time. And quite frankly, we're tired of it. So, in my opinion, like Michael Irvin said, clean house. The hell with it. Clean it up. From the top. Head coach, got to go. Defensive coordinator, hey, got to go. And I figured Dak Prescott, this is last year. This is, you either make or break. I figured that, and Dallas don't have no killers on this team. Everybody get caught up in the limelight with that starting to happen. Michael Parsons got a podcast. I don't want my star defensive player with a podcast. You look at guys like Roquan Smith for Baltimore Ravens, Fred Warner. These guys don't have podcasts. Those are straight dogs. Those are straight killers on that defensive side of the ball. On defense, I want nothing but dogs on the field. I don't want nobody, I want to trade jerseys with you after the game, or I want to, that's my guy, but we're going to be friends after. No, we don't need none of that. We need you to be a dog. Dallas don't have that dog mentality. I remember when they were the Hot Boys. DeMarcus Lawrence and all those guys in 2018, they used to have the hot boy chains. Trash. We don't need it. We don't want it. We want straight dogs on this defense. And it needs to be a culture change. Dan Quinn, hey, let him go get a coaching job somewhere else. I figured they should bring in, I don't know, maybe Bill Belichick, who's kind of old school mentality. He's one proven coach. Hasn't been good since Tom Brady left, so who's to say, is it Bill or was it Tom? But he has that resume of Super Bowls, as well as Jim Harbaugh, who just won a national championship. Shout out to Michigan for winning that. But Jim Harbaugh, who knows? He could bring in another culture change, but I figured one thing you got to change is your defensive style. Your linebacker, Michael Parsons, you shouldn't be playing on the edge. You're not a defensive end. I don't know why Dan Quinn has put him on the edge. He's not a defensive end. When he came into the league, he was drafted as a linebacker coming out of Penn State. The only reason he went in on the defensive line because his first season as a rookie, DeMarcus Lawrence got hurt. I think it was between like 8 to 10 weeks. And after that, when he got healthy, I would have put him back at a linebacker because he doesn't need to be hand in the dirt. He's not a traditional 4-3 defensive end. A traditional 4-3 defensive end is anybody 6'3" and up going over 260 that could rush, and rush. Michael Parsons is an off-ball linebacker, and it's simple. It's like they're in that traditional 4-3 is like a hybrid, but if you go back to the early 2000s, go back and look at Tampa Bay when they had Derrick Brooks and Warren Sapp and John Lynch. Derrick Brooks was your weak side linebacker. You had nasty, grimy defensive tackles, Warren Sapp. You had those guys on the edge who could rush, and rush. So, with that being said, I figured, hell, I could be the coach. Might not know all the play calls, but it's about motivating. Mike McCarthy, who knows if he gets fired and loses his job, but I figured the only way you have to change. So whether it's Bill Belichick, whether it's John Harbaugh, I don't know. Somebody has to come in and change this, and Jerry Jones has to get out of his way. All right, people. That's just me ranting about the Dallas Cowboys after a terrible loss. Like I said, they lost to the Green Bay Packers 48-32. If you find this, if this finds your ears, go ahead, like and subscribe and share. And like I said, we're going to be tuning in to a whole bunch of stuff this year, from sports to pop culture to the whole nine and a bunch of nonsense, as I say. So, welcome again to Kavon and the Gang, and thank you. Like and subscribe and share.